Hi guys, welcome back to the Acoustic Shoppe channel. We are going to be reviewing some mandolins today, talking about the differences and comparison, comparing and contrasting even, if you will, and I will, if you will allow me, between the MD615 and the Eastman MD815, coming right up. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about the differences between the Eastman MD615, kind of the road-ready model, and they're next to the top of the line, the MD815. John, could you do the math quickly? What is the difference? 200 is the answer. There's 200 numbers between these two models.
You're right.
And we're going to talk about specs between the two. But before we do that, at the very end of this video, if you don't want to hear the specs and you just want to hear the sound, we do have a sound sample where we go back and forth between them. And we also have a video where we both play them and you kind of hear the instruments for a couple minutes. So those are in the description below. Also, if you get a chance, make sure you subscribe to the channel with that little subscribe button down there. We'd love to have you guys as part of our team. You guys win. We give away free cars all the time on this channel. It's basically a Mr. Beast for acoustic instruments.
What?
It's not
Who's
true.
Mr. B?
They want Mr. Beast. You gotta watch more YouTube with your kids.
I don't like YouTube.
Anyway, if you guys get a chance, also leave some comments below if you have your thoughts
Nick at Night.
and opinions on John's lack of YouTube knowledge or what you think of these instruments. Just put that in the comments. Let's talk about this 615 first. This is Eastman's kind of road ready because it has a pickup pre-installed, the K&K pure twin internal.
Yes, it's like you said, it's their stage ready to go mandolin. Comes already pre-installed with a K&K pickup. Has the pick guard / finger rest. It is their upper end of their mandolins. Doesn't quite get into the level of where that one does, which is in wood choices, but has most of the features that the 800 series and above have, just with a little bit lesser grade of woods, but the upgrade of the better case, better tuners, better pickup and finger rest. So those are the big differences.
Yeah, the big
comes in two colors, by the way. You have a gold burst, which is a sunburst type of one. It is very popular in Les Pauls and those kind of deals. That color and was new. And then their classic color, which now is, and when you get to the 600 series, it's a little more red than the brown classic that they have in the lower numbers. But
it's looking closer to the varnished ones that they have, almost that color.
Yeah, it is almost that color.
This one is the first up that has a bound back and sides as well as the peg head. They did the block inlay on it. It's going to be maple back and sides with a Sitka spruce top on there. And there's where the first big jump comes to the 815. We go from, it goes to the premium maple, so this back on this is just gorgeous.
Yep.
So you use some of the more select maple on the back and sides. But we jump up to an Adirondack spruce top on the top. So going from the Sitka to Adirondack.
Also known as red spruce.
Red spruce, yep.
Who are comparing other manufacturers, same thing.
Otherwise, it's going to be very similar. They did do the fretboard extension with the scalloped or the scooped extension, so you're not clicking the pick on there, but a more traditional look with that extension on the fretboard. Bound entirely top, back, and sides, and peg head. They did the mother of pearl logo on that, and I think they did on that one as well.
They do on this, but now you get the actual flower pot.
Yeah, flower pot
comes in there. And I like Eastman's flower pot. I like how they put the E in there as part of the flower that comes out of there, or smoke. I don't know how you want to make it.
It's just some kind of weird plant, or it's a witch's brew in there.
It's a witch's brew.
This does have the dot inlay back more to the traditional, again, going from the block inlay. Otherwise, very similar appointments to it. Also comes in a couple different finish options. You got the, this would be the classic as well, and then you could do a standard sunburst finish on this, the classic sunburst. But the biggest difference you're going to see is in that Adirondack spruce top, and they also have the varnished version of this as well.
They do, and you also do get a change in tuners. Those are more the shallower style tuners versus the Grover ones. It's a little bit thicker stamped, cast tuner, just a little bit different. Well, people a lot of time ask about the extensions on the fretboards. That is the way the original Lloyd Loar style mandolins were done, with that extension that was out there. It was fretted. Most modern players end up doing that scallop or scoop and take away those frets, because
otherwise you hear this a lot.
Yeah, you hear clicky, clicky, click. This one does away with it completely, and there are a lot of modern mandolin builders that are just getting rid of it from that extension on. It's kind of hints at that extension, where that one keeps it there, looks traditional with the scallop.
I'm noticing, I was just looking these back and forth, and I don't think I noticed before. This does have like the extra line in the purfling in
yeah,
the
so you have
binding.
a 3-ply binding versus just the one line of black in here besides the ivory.
So this is ivory black, then ivory again, rather than just
and also
black
on the
and
front
ivory.
too.
Yeah, also on the headstock, I was noticing that. So a little bit classier looking. This is the mandolin I own. I have the varnished version of it, and I think that Adirondack spruce top gives you a little bit more punch, a little bit more volume without kind of maxing out and almost hitting this threshold where it almost compressed. The Adirondack or red spruce top just seems to, whatever you put into it, it's able to project out.
That's one of the common notices for a lot of people about Adirondack spruce is it just doesn't seem to have a cap. You can give it all you want, and it doesn't just go and crunch.
Yeah, a lot of times they almost like compress on their own with a Sitka, and you have to be putting a lot into them. But you can notice it, especially when you're competing with banjo and guitar. That Adirondack red spruce just gives a little bit more punch, and it keeps up with whatever you're putting into it as far as your top.
I also say it gives you a little more transient response, but what I mean by that is it's quicker. I would say, and this is true with guitars, this is true with mandolins, Sitka spruce has this kind of, it comes out of the instrument, it just kind of flows out. But when you deal with Adirondack spruce, it just jumps out. It just absolutely impactful. Every single note just jumps out of the instrument and kind of gains you that. So again, on a smaller instrument, that's a pretty good bonus.
It's kind of like having gold wires in your electronics versus copper. It just transfers that energy quicker. I just made that up. But I think that's a good analogy.
They actually
just
use
slightly
gold inside wires.
They do in computers.
They gold plate the plugs, but you're just
all the wires I buy are gold.
Are they? Yeah. Man, you got some expensive wire. That's all I got to say.
Anyway, the moment you guys have been waiting for, we talked about the major differences in the build. Let's kind of play them back to back and see if you can hear the difference, because that's where the rubber meets the road, if they will.
That's what they say.
And I did. This one, as of this video, I think is priced at $59. And this one's at $19.59, so $300, which for just the upgrade of the Sitka spruce top is crazy.
I remember 1959 very well. It was a great year.
Well, yeah, sure. Anyway, we're gonna play it for you guys right now. Let us know what you think in the comments. Well, guys, I hope you got a good idea on the difference between kind of these two. Not quite the very top. There is a 915 level up there, which is a little bit fancier maple, basically. Still, most of the appointments for this mandolin, often in a blonde. We rarely get those in, so we didn't put that in this comparison. But this gives you kind of an idea of some of the Eastman line. If you enjoyed that video, make sure you put in the comments below what you thought the difference was, if it's worth the price difference, or if you prefer having the pickup installed. Also, if you enjoyed that one, we did do a full review of the 615 Gold Burst, which I think you might like, just to see that different finish option and a little bit more detail on the 600 series. So check that out. There's a link to it right here, and we'll see you guys soon, I hope.